in the mood for Easter? Alright, I'll just sort out my laptop while I'm waiting. I've got my laptop going at the same time, then I can see any comments. We hope is the idea. Alright, oh, there we go. How do I make this big? Let me make that big. And then just sorting out on the laptop. Alright. Do that. Oh, there we go. There's that. Oh, so we'll turn the sound off on that, because otherwise you'll hear me twice and that will be confusing and horrible for everybody. So we do that. And let me see, can I make, oh, there we go, that's made it nice and big, and then I should be able to see. Right, okay, hello everybody that's coming up. Who have we got so far? We've got Mandy and Jane and Debbie and Angie, Angela, Lisa. Good morning everybody, happy Easter. Hey, so I'll just give it a little minute or two for others to come across. From Julia, didn't she have some lovely stuff on there this morning? Her stitcheries are so gorgeous. She does them so quickly. I just don't think she sleeps. I said to her the other week, do you ever sleep? And I don't think she does. I think with all this sort of upset and stuff that everybody's had recently, she's just 90 miles an hour. Fabulous though. So we've got morning Margaret and Freya and Sarah Jane and Flora and Elaine and Sue and Shirley. Happy Easter everybody. Right, okay, so this morning I had a bright idea. I got up as normal and I'm heading out to my studio here, which is outside, yeah. So I've come out the back door. Thanks Julia. Who's that? Sue as well, and Lish and Catherine and Sarah. Morning Mrs. Yeah, so I had this bright idea, so I've got up and I've come out the back door to come out to my studio here, what I call the cupboard. Apart from deciding I need a bigger cupboard this morning because everything's been falling on the floor. You'd be amazed how many things have hit the floor today already. So I was putting up some quilts for you to look at, and I had this thought. I thought, it's a lovely sunny day, things are starting to bloom, and I thought, do you know what, I'm going to get my Dragonfly quilt out. So this is what you see here. So it's by no means a new quilt of mine. It is one of my favourites. I did it as a mystery quilt. I can't remember how many years ago now, but lots. And it's one of my absolute favourites, I have to say, because each of the blocks stand independently, so you can use them for anything you want. Oh, that was a strange noise going on. I don't know where that came from or what it was. Oh dear, things going to start falling over probably again. Yeah, so each of the blocks stand independently. And it is as a quilt. And I thought, do you know what? We'll have a special on the pattern, all right? So while Julia's been on, I've tried to go onto my website and update stuff. So hopefully it has happened. So apart from all the other bits I've got for you, I've now got for you the Dragonfly pattern. Okay, so it's a booklet, all right? So we've got all sorts of things going on there for every block. And each block comes full size, all right, as in patterns. So you've actually got hundreds of pages of patterns, because it's 2 A3 sheets for a block, because I like full size, so we can just get going with it. So that's normally quite a bit. So I've put it's on offer today for 25, but you've got an awful lot there and an awful lot of usage. All right, so that's over on my website, abbyann.com. I love it. And the reason it's called a dragonfly is because there is actually a dragonfly. And in the background, do you know, I can't think for a minute quite where, there's dragonflies and all sorts in the quilting. So that sort of leads me on to, and this is where I started getting in a pickle, So these haven't been put on offer, but they're all there and I will show you them. My templates. All right, now, so this, Andy makes these for me, and this is where really Andy and I sort of started becoming friends. I don't know if you can see that. There's my Dragonfly template, and that comes in several different sizes. And my daisies, because I love daisies. So the daisies there, again, come in several different sizes. So these are all different templates that you can use for your quilting or applique or whatever you want. Well, of course, then I started getting a bit carried away, didn't I? So there's the ladybug, which is quite cute. What else did we have? Oh, we had the sunflower. So these are all sort of for applique or for your quilting within. You can't use them on the sewing machine. You can't quilt around them as such on the sewing machine because they're just too pointy and a bit awkward. So you would draw it on and then the machine around or do by hand or whatever you want. I quite like by hand. This one, did I do that one by hand? It looks like it's been done by hand, but I think actually I used my Shishika machine to quilt that one. So there's a nice old rosy type thing going on. You'll find all of these, as I say, on my website, abbyann.com. So just look under templates. There's the bee. I do love the bee. It's lovely. And then the newer ones that I had Andy make for a different one, but would work with this, is the snail. I do love snails. We've got lots of snails in our garden, rightly or wrongly. We have lots of them. And then we have a toadstool. Toadstool. So that's some of my templates. There's a whole load more. All right. So if you go over and have a little look, as I say, oh, there's also, look, there's a variety of poppies because I do love me poppies. All right. Those of you that know me know I did this a good while ago, and it's been copied around the place. Lots of people have done things similar since, but you know what? We like this one. It's the original one. Okay, so that was my surprise for the day and why I'm so disorganised. Right, okay, so there's all, let's put that there a minute. And I've got my camera up higher so that you could see this. So I don't know if I'm at the right angle or anything. What I've got going here, beautiful. Thank you, Debbie. Morning, Lorraine. Thanks, Sarah Jane. Sheena, happy Easter. Oh, and to Mum, give her a big hug for me, wouldn't you? Yeah, lovely. Right, so what I was originally going to come on and show you was some new fabrics. All right, so now this one is not like me really, but I loved it. Look, Sewing Notions. Can you see that? And that's from Hobby Gift. So you might see things like sewing boxes and sewing bags and things made from these fabrics. All right, so that's got lots of scissors and zips and threads and pins and unpickers, tape measures. There's all sorts in there. So what I've done, I mean, obviously it's on the website per metre or per half metre. I sell everything half metre. But I've put a little kit together because I reckon 3 fat quarters, only 3. There's a white on white there. Now, I don't know if you can see that because it's got like lots of little dots and squares in it, and that actually looks really, really cute with it. I quite like that. And then I had a new one in the week. I want to say Tiny Tonals or Spring Treat, or do you know what? I've given up remembering all the names of all these things. But there's a nice new one come in. There's several others of these, but this one works particularly well with that one. So I've done up a little pack of 3 fat quarters, which is enough there to make you a little project bag or whatever you fancy. And instead of £8, because these are really reasonable prices, £6 today. So if you want in fat quarters, little fat quarter pack, £6 for those. All right, so let's pop them back there. Okay, so what else do we have come in? Oh, now these are from Andover. Oh, Spring Treats. The blue is called Spring Treats because it says so on the edge, and I didn't look, it wasn't on that bit. There we go. Right, so there we are. So that's Spring Treats. Now, it does actually go, because I've put another bundle together for you here. So these are supposedly olive. So they're a very mild, soft, lovely olive. All right, lovely mixer there. Now, I particularly like, look, he's like a raspberry colour, and he's got little tiny hearts as the part of the leaves. It's really cute, really cute. So the tonals come in several, and there's a darker version of that. And I thought, do you know what? You know, they're very lovely. But I also realised, because where I've been making this thing, these are also from Andover Fabrics, and they all go with it as well. So what I've gone and done is I have done, can you see, I've done 6 fat quarters there. All right, they all go rather lovely together. Now, what were they then? And I've called them olives. So they should be 21 quid. So we got them on 17 today. All right, so if you fancy those. And then I thought, do you know what? Little projects. So I've done some fat 8s. So, you know when you get your fat quarters, it's chopped on the fat side, if that makes sense. So I've done some fat 8s, 6 fat 8s. And so, of course, they should have been 10.50. And I've done them for 8.50 today. All right, look, there's a cat coming here. Hello, Tom. There's baby Tom. He's not happy with me because I've got a big bag, no, a big tub of templates in his bed. No. So I have to move them so that he can get on his bed if he wants. He rules the roost in here. Those of you that don't know, this is Black Cat Tom. I'm stroking him still, actually. Here he comes. He's actually got his own Facebook page. So if you're into cats, you can see all his antics that are around here and in the garden and stuff. And it's Black Cat Tom. So go over and have a little look. He is a bit of a character. Anyone that comes in to do classes will know and will have met. And he's having a little fuss here for a minute. There we go. So we have to stop everything to fuss the cat. Because cat's now sat in the middle of it all. You can't quite see that, but he's, yeah, in the middle of it all. So we got 2 olives. Yes, so we got 2 olives. So we're fat quarters and fat 8s, and you'll find them on the Facebook page. All right, so pop that there. Can you bring me the sewing 3/4 Basingstoke, please? Sheila, yes, of course. Can you message me as well? Because I know me. I'll go back and try and find that, and I won't find it because I won't be able to. There's a cat just sat here. Can you see? He's just, yeah. He's my gorgeous boy. Right, so along with those fat quarters, because we had this new tiny tonally thing in, I also had that in a pink, which is rather gorgeous. Let me show you the pink. So there's the pink and white. So that was rather lovely. And obviously I was thinking, do you know what, they go with the stuff that I had last week. But also, I don't know if you can see this clear enough. Can you see that clear enough? Bees. They got little bees in them. They're called Queen Bee. So they came in as well. So I've got that in a pink, and I've got that in a pale grey, which is gorgeous. And a cream as a mixer. So, because it went nicely with, so we've had another pack of fat quarters this week. I don't know if you can see that. So we got the bees, and we got a mixer, and we got the new tiny pink, and we've got sort of the ready ones that we were using previous. So that's a 6-pack as well. So there's 6 fat quarters there. All right. And I've done them up the same as the olives. So they're just called reds. And so there's 6 fat quarters, and they should be 21, and there's 17 today. And I've done up some 8s as well, so some fat 8s of that. And so instead of 10.50, they're 8.50. So they're over on the website. But then this is where I get a little bit chuffed with myself, because all of these actually go with all of those. So if you want a real good sort of selection, the 2 go together. So you could have 2 lots of fat quarters or 2 lots of 8s, which is why I've done the 8s, because I thought the smaller bits you could have just enough of everything to give you a real good variety to do something like the one there, or actually this one here. Can you imagine this with all the different ones and a nice background? Yeah, so you've got 2 lots of fat quarter bundles that go together. Quite pleased with myself about that, because they come from different ranges, but they're all from Andover, except the bee. The bee is a leucine, but everything else, they all go together. And if you really wanted to pop a colour, the blue goes in with it as well, because that's in there with some of the others. But you'd have to do that separately, because I've not actually included that in anything. But they're all available in meterage as well. So that's all of that. That's all of that. Now, what else was I going to tell you about? Let's have a little look on here. Morning, Gloria, Hillary. Did you save me some of the fabrics for the quilt behind you? Well, Mandy, funny you should say. There's your pile there, darling, all ready to go. I'm just waiting to figure out how much plain, because I'm going to put a border around the big one, so that then we can have a border of the little ones and then around. So once that's done, I'll add you the plain within there. I'm just playing still to see how far I can take this heap, and I reckon we're going to have the big one in the centre, then we're going to have like a 2.5 inch plain all the way around, then we're going to have this as its border, and then a bit more plain, and we'll be ready for quilting. So you just need your plain to add to yours. So Mandy, yeah, no, that's yours, darling, all ready to go. All right, so it's all saved, don't worry. And then I need to write a pattern. Look, I've got that far, that you've got your plain pattern sheets to play with your colour. But that nicely brings me on to the templates. So Handy Andy, as we now call him, he'll be on after me, by the way, over on Crafty UK. He's on at 10:30. Right, so he's been busy making for me all these different sizes for this here. And he's very clever, because I had this thing on, oh, I wonder what it would look like with a smaller one around a bigger one. Can you do me another template? So look, I don't know if you can see, I don't know what I've done with my bit of card. What have I done with my bit of card? Oh, there it is. Right. But the middle comes out. Look. Oh, so you get 2 sizes. It's very clever. It keeps your prices down. So, when I get his all... I've ordered a load. When he's made them, which will be a couple of weeks' time, and that gives me time to write the pattern for you all, we'll have them up on the next live, hopefully. And then you get that bit that does all your triangles for both. So it keeps our prices reasonable. He's very clever. And we've called these Oct-Searle, all right, as in Searle, but Octa and, yeah, okay. So we've got them at the minute. What we're doing, we are doing, we're going to do 6 inch with a 12 inch, so 12 inch blocks in the middle and 6 inch blocks around. And then this one, which is 10 with a 5. There we go. So that's a slightly smaller one. And then I've got 8s as well to try. And I did wonder whether or not 4 was going to be too small. But I might, Andy, if you're listening, can you do me a 4? Just to try, please. That would be good. Because then if it's not too small, some of us like working small, don't we? So actually, it could be quite cute. So there we go. But can you imagine, you've got all sorts of other things you can do with this. I've actually done everything quite random colour-wise, but I was playing around, and you just with colours, and I mean, this means things to me, but not maybe to you. But you can get other patterns set within this that I've been colouring in. I like colouring in. It's like cutting and sticking. Other people call it applique. I call it cutting and sticking. It's good fun. But yeah, so that pattern is on the way to go with the templates that Andy's busy making for me. So I'm hopeful that we'll certainly have 1 size, if not 2, for the next Sunday live. All right, so I'm going to put them all back in my little bag here before I lose them. Right, okay, so where did that leave me? Who am I? Where am I? Where's my list? done the notions. That's yeah, and I've done it on a Dragonfly. Okay, right. So the other thing, what do I need to talk to? What do I need to talk about? Pitlochry retreat coming up in June. Okay, so this is just me. Up in middle of Scotland there. It's absolutely gorgeous up there. We're doing a Monday to Friday, and that'll include me doing a workshop with you. And while you're doing your workshop, I actually cook your dinner, believe it or not. It's usually not too bad. I usually do a roast. Pretty hard to get wrong, except if you get your timings wrong, isn't it? So yeah, so it's a small retreat, just a few people, very lovely, and bring what you want. I'll do also, as I say, a workshop. Give us a shout. There's a few places left on that. This is going to be the last shout out for it. So if you're interested, do shout me for more details. All right, as I say, that needs to be done fairly quickly. Okay, so that's June. And calm. I've gone through most of it at a rate of knots, and I apologise. Right, what have we got going on here? Did you save me some? Yes, I did. Perfect, thank you. Okay, Mandy, welcome. Happy Easter, Jill. Hillary, morning all. Calm. Fabric. Let me show you again. Oh, what I didn't show you. Done as a scrap and stash. Look. Look, look, look. Just trial ones, doing all sorts of fabrics. How good. There's so many things you could do with this. You could have just the centres all the same and everything else scrap and stash. And the outsides. Centre and outside predominantly the same, or the same colourway, like that. Or you could have them all odd and those the same, all that. Goes on and on and on and on and on and on and on. Sorry, I should have shouted you that before. Pop that there. What's the time? 20 past. We've got 10 minutes. Okay, so we'll go back through. Tom's fast asleep on his bed now that I moved everything. It's very cute. Right, go back through the fabrics. What have I been doing this week? I had a couple of classes this week, so I was up near Bideford last weekend. And we did machine reverse plique, so lots of layers, machine it all through, cut it away, which is sort of what I'm known for. I wrote a book on that once upon a time. We had a lovely time. We had a really good day, and we had some stunning results coming to mind immediately. It's a very good Christmas baubles and a very, very lovely sparkly fish. So I always put photos, I don't know if you've noticed, on my Facebook page and into Patchwork Witterings group of whatever's been going on through the week. So you'll find those photos on there. What else do we have? Margaret, who comes in every Tuesday, she's busy stitching. I don't know if you've seen any of the photos. She's into boiled wool and felt at the moment. I told you it had been a falling down day, didn't I? See? Never mind, I wasn't in the way, so it's just as well. I'm gonna pin my quilt back up though, says she. Let me find a pin. Have we got a pin? Oh, there we are. That's what happens round here, you know. I was, to be honest, I was getting a little bit naughty with it. Because being as this quilt's finished is actually quite heavy, so it's no wonder it all fell down. There we go. Right, so, and we carry on. What was I saying? Margaret's stitching, very nice. Have a little look at that. Varying different quilts in the making. Yesterday we had a lovely session. What was going on yesterday? A bit of a plique for the mystery quilt. Who was sat here? I have to go through my mind who was here. Den was here. She was busy doing one of the stitch and flip strippy ones. What was Sandra doing? Oh, cushions. Yes, that was an interesting one. She had a lovely square of crochet, and she wanted that put onto fabric, so we were getting it all nicely. That was looking really good. So keep an eye. You never know what you'll find popping up on the Facebook page. Okay, so yeah, I was going to come back to fabrics then. That's just what I was doing this week, in between trying to do samples and getting ready for the retreat. So I've got a few of these kits ready for the retreat, and sussing because everybody wants different things. Right, okay, so fabric notions, which I think is really cute, and I don't normally do novelty, as you all know. And a nice mixer. So that's all done as fat quarters, all right, and they're only £6 for the 3, all right, today, tomorrow, and then they go up to 8, which is still very good, I reckon. But so it only works out like £10 a metre, even at full price, which is really quite cool. Then we've got 2 lots of fat quarters. So let me get this that you can perhaps see what they are. So we've got soft olive, they call it. So that's all those. Okay, so they've been done as fat quarter packs, all right, on offer. And then we have reds. And both packs actually go together really, really well. So if you're into doing what I call scrap and stash, so these are really good bases to put your other fabrics with, or to actually, you've got enough here probably to do an actual project, if you see what I mean. So that's the reds, all right. So we've got the reds and the olives. And if you want to pop a colour, that one also goes in with those because they are included. Look, let me see if I can hold this lot up without that all falling down. There we go. All right, so they're all available as fat quarters or fat eighths. So if you only want little bits, fat eighths is good. All right, let me put that in. This pattern, Dragonfly pattern, I'll put that on offer today for you all. Scrap and stash is what I call it. Okay, so all the backgrounds are made from bits and pieces and anything. All right, as long as they're the right sort of colour, the way that you're working on. And then everything on top is scrap, except the green leaves. You do need a fair bit of that. And even a long quarter will do it, because they connect the whole thing together. I don't know if you can see that. There we go. It all connects together. My chair just went down then. Do you know, it's one of them days today. What's going on? I'm sitting on the floor. There we go. I'm back up again. Oh dear. Yeah, so basically, even the backgrounds at the bottom, they're all bits and pieces. I don't know if you can see the bottom 2 here. The bottom 2 squares. So you've got Crocosmia and you've got Bleeding Arts. And you can do them even though they're tiny. The amount of people that have done them without realising that they were doing them, fabulous. It's doable, all right? So lovely scrap and stash, use up all your bits. Now, where are we? We're 10:26. We got any more comments? Happy Easter, thank you, Jill. I said that already. A long way for you all the way up from Cornwall. No, it's not. No, it's not. I can travel all over the place, don't worry. Graham, morning Graham, hello darling, is life all right up there? Chris, happy Easter, thank you darling. Right, what do I need to say? Templates, I've shown you all the templates. I've shown you the quilt pattern. And when you buy any of my patterns, I have to say, I don't know that I've ever said this on lives before, you get stuck, you give me a shout and I help you, don't worry. You can do it. You'll be amazed what you're capable of doing. All right, so we've got all the templates. We've got the new templates on the way. It's happy Easter to everybody. I'm going down. Now I'm just waffling because I've lost it because everything fell on the floor. So I've done my notions fabric, I've done my olives fabric, I've done my reds fabric. I've told you about Pitlochry. That's going to be good fun. Shout me if you need. Dragonfly, this is the Dragonfly quilt, by the way. All right, templates, a multitude of different templates. If you go on my website and have a little look, it's abbyanne.com, have a look in the shop under the template section and you will find loads. All right, so do have a little nose. Great fun, good usages of. And I've done the Oct-Searle. Right, so those of you that are coming to retreat with the Three Amigos next week, gosh, it's coming up so quick, isn't it? if there's anything you want me to bring with me, give me a shout, direct, remind me, because I will be hopeless, I will forget. I will have whatever few kits and things are left with me. I'll bring patterns, I'll bring fabric packs, and I will bring templates, that sort of thing. All right. I've got a load of sets of fat quarters reduced and all put together, ready for if you want to do pile and plunder with me. My workshop will be pile and plunder. Several different designs have been put out there for you, so if there's anything specific you need me to bring, let me know, or if there's a design you particularly want to do, let me know. All right. If you don't, it's not a problem, we can sort it on the day up there, not a problem at all. I believe there's a swimming pool and everything. That can be interesting. I might not, you never know. I might get healthy and have a little go. But for those of you coming, bring your cozies, because you don't know, we could be doing all sorts of everything. So that's the retreat up in, it's Basingstoke. All right. And do you know what? I think there are a couple of places if anybody wants. But we'd have to talk that with Andy. I don't know if it's too late now. It's possibly too late. But there we are. So we're going to have great fun up there. And Julia, yeah, I'll bring an ironing board. And it's as well you said, because I'd completely forgotten. So I've actually written it down, ironing boards, because I'd totally forgotten I was going to put one in the van. So it's on my list to do. Thank you. Right, okay, so where are we? 10:29. So Andy will be picking up in a minute over on Crafty UK. All right. Do go over and see what he's got available, and he's got a very silly little video that I put together again this morning very early, because I don't sleep a lot. So yeah, that's going to be worth a giggle, so it's worth watching him till the end for that one. All right, happy Easter.